Hello, my dear children. I know how much you all love different stories and fairy tales, and I know how much you love your parents to read to you before bed. But this story that I'm going to tell you now, your parents will never tell you. And so, my dears, sit down more comfortably and I will begin. This happened in Russia a very long time ago, by the way. I love Russia very much. This is a very cold country, and I go there often, and therefore I know many interesting stories from Russia, and I'll tell you one of them. So this happened a very long time ago. The event in this story takes place in the late 19th century and early 20th century. In 1917, a revolution took place in Russia. Well, not all children know what a revolution is. Revolution is when people want to change the power and order in the country, so they taking the weapons and going to kill the rulers. In Russia then there was a king, and his name was Nikolai. Nikolai had a wife. Her name was Alexandra, and they had 5 children, 4 girls and 1 boy. The girls' names were Olya, Tanya, Masha, Nastya, and the boy's name was Alyosha. The children were good, and they really loved to eat sweets. But unfortunately, the boy Alyosha was very sick. He had a very rare disease, and not a single doctor could help him. And one day an old woman came to the queen and said that far away in Siberia there lived one man. He lived all alone in the forest. He ran away from all the people and dedicated himself to God. This guy's name is Grigory Rasputin, and it has magical powers. And he can cure Prince Alyosha. Queen Alexandra ordered her soldiers to bring this Grigory Rasputin immediately. The soldiers very quickly brought Grigory Rasputin to the palace. King Nikolai allowed Grigory Rasputin to stay and live in the palace. Grigory was given the best room. He was fed delicious food and given a lot of beautiful clothes. Grigory Rasputin began to live like a king. He said that Prince Alyosha can be cured, but not immediately. It takes a lot of time to treat him, and you need to be patient, and he will cure him. In Russia at that time there were many problems. People had nothing to eat, and King Nikolai thought only about his sick son and did not think about the people. And the Communist Party appeared in Russia. The leader of the Communist Party was Vladimir Lenin. The Communists wanted to kill the royal family and all the rich people and take their money. All the poor people liked this idea, and the Communist Party became bigger and bigger. They reported this to King Nikolai and said that it was becoming very dangerous, but he did not want to listen to anyone. He only thought about his son. Yes, there were many problems in Russia, and there were many problems all over the world, my dear children. You should also know that the First World War began in 1914, and of course this was the main cause of all the problems. But we will not discuss politics and come back to our story. Now, my dear children, it's time for you to find out the most important thing in this story. Grigory Rasputin had a magical penis. Yes, my dear children, he was born with a very large penis. This penis had great strength and great energy, and whoever touched this penis was charged with this energy and was cured of any illness. And also all women who could not have children could give birth immediately. This penis had such a powerful energy. It was a powerful penis and a very beautiful penis. So little Alyosha was brought to Rasputin every day, and he touched Rasputin's penis and was charged with this magical energy. And Alyosha's sisters and Queen Alexandra herself also came to Rasputin to touch his magic penis. Soon everyone who lived in the palace learned about Rasputin's magical penis, and everyone came to him every day to touch this magical and amazing penis. While everyone in the palace was playing with Rasputin's penis, the First World War was going on in the world, and then the revolution happened. The Communist Party, led by Lenin, seized power in Russia. Lenin gave the order to arrest the royal family. The commander of the detachment that was sent by Lenin to arrest the royal family was named Yasha Shapiro. All the palace guards were killed immediately, and only the royal family and Grigory Rasputin remained in the palace. Rasputin ran out of the palace and rushed at the soldiers. The soldiers shot at Rasputin. The bullets passed through him, and he continued running towards them. He was 2 meters tall, and his big beard and long hair made him very scary. He ran like a devil towards the soldiers and strangled everyone with his bare hands, except Yasha Shapiro. Rasputin did not reach Yasha Shapiro. Yasha Shapiro fired all the bullets he had in his pistol, and Rasputin was killed. And just then a car arrived with a new detachment. They immediately entered the palace and took the entire royal family out and took them to the forest. The royal family did not know what horror awaited them in the forest. A deep hole had already been dug there, and there the entire royal family, King Nikolai and Queen Alexandra, and their daughters Olya, Tanya, Masha, Nastya, and little Alyosha were brutally killed. They cut off their heads, arms and legs, and buried them all in a pile. Vladimir Lenin knew about Rasputin's magical penis and ordered Yasha Shapiro to cut off Rasputin's penis and bring it to him. Vladimir Lenin had a small penis since childhood, and he was told that he needed to take Rasputin's penis and alcohol it in a jar and drink from this jar every day, and his penis will become big and beautiful. Yasha Shapiro cut off Rasputin's penis and brought it to Lenin, and Rasputin's penis was preserved in alcohol in a jar, and Lenin began to drink from this jar every day. And in Russia at that time, a civil war began. The relatives of the royal family gathered their army and called it the White Army. The Communist Party, led by Lenin, created their own army and called it the Red Army, and they began to fight each other. The commander of the White Army was Anton Denikin. The commander of the Red Army was Leon Trotsky. And there were many other armies. Each army fought for something different. And one of these armies was the Black Army. This was an army of anarchists, and it was commanded by Nestor Makhno. Each army was very strong, and the war was very cruel. Brother killed brother, father killed son. Each fought for his own idea. And only the most cunning could win this war, and Leon Trotsky turned out to be the most cunning. The Red Army won this war. While this war was going on, Lenin drank from his jar where Rasputin's penis lay, but Lenin's penis did not get any bigger, and Lenin was very worried about this, and soon Lenin became very ill and died. People loved Lenin very much. He became like a messiah. And the leaders of the Communist Party decided to preserve Lenin in alcohol, just as they preserved Rasputin's penis, so that Lenin would always be alive. Lenin was placed in an open coffin in a special room, and everyone can go to Moscow and look at Lenin. And they also opened a special Rasputin museum, where his magic penis is still kept in a jar. This is the story, my dear children. Now you can ask your parents to take you to Moscow and show you Lenin and Rasputin's magic penis in a jar. I really hope you liked this story and that Rasputin's penis brings you happiness.